Look at this. Look at this beautiful, beautiful bookshelf. One of the things that I knew I had to do and wanted to do when I came back to BookTube is finally get my bookshelf into filming shape. If you look at my old videos, it's not great. Particularly, I think there's going to be a video over here where I show you our cat's litter box was in most of the shots of my most recent video. Not the best way to attract new subscribers and making people want to watch my videos. Besides that, I just did not have a lot of my favorite fantasy works out here, which I enjoy when I'm watching BookTube and see people in the background with books and want to see kind of what they have. So I wanted to show my books, and it just needed to look fancier and better. And so I did this, which I'm so excited about. My process, I'm glad you asked. Thanks for asking. First pass, I had to make sure I just went through and did a sort and got unhauled a few books that I either wasn't going to read or didn't really bring me joy being on the shelf, or I had like doubles. There was a couple things that I had double copies of, a lot of classics I had double copies of. Second, I went through and I separated all of Anna's books, my wife. I did not have the permission or want the permission to get rid of them. I just put them on another shelf, but wanted these to be fantasy books and specifically Andy books. 3, I wanted to make sure that the series that are most prominent to me were the most prominent on my shelf. So I'm going to show you in a second, but you'll see Lord of the Rings, Malazan, Robin Hobb's Realm of the Elderlings, A Song of Ice and Fire, all have prominent places on the bookshelf, and then the rest is sort of scattered in between. So I'm going to give you a little tour of the bookshelf and let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, so first up on the top, I love to collect Lord of the Rings series. Different times, different, editions. I just think they're so great. So I love having a bunch of them. My sort of favorites are the ones up there, the top left, the illustrated ones, which are beautiful. I've got some from the 70s and 80s, which I think are cool. Some illustrated ones there. These TV ones, which I think most people don't like, including me, they're not my favorite. I'm trying to not glare. They're not my favorite, but these are the ones that I first read the series with when I first read them, which I think is great and I love so much, so I'm keeping them. And then down here I have some box sets that I do have the books themselves, but I also just love the artwork, and facing them out I think just looks so cool. Then after that we had just enough space to put some of my American classics sections there. I also, by the way, have some peripheral Lord of the Rings stuff like Atlas or some artwork for some other minor works and location guides that I also put here. This is Steinbeck, Le Guin, and James Baldwin, and then War and Peace from Leo Tolstoy just kind of fit. This is where I cheated a little bit, but I think it just looked so good that I wanted to put these here anyway, and I'm okay with that. Next shelf down is our Malazan shelf. You'll see the Carcanis trilogy, or at least the first 2 books in it over there. I only have one Bochlin and Cornwall brooch, which I'm okay with. Those are sort of my least favorite elements in the Malazan world. The Big Ten, and I realized something that I'd forgotten, which is my House of Chains. I lost somewhere along the way, somewhere in a move, so I have to order that. Then we've got the first book in the Witness trilogy, The God Is Not Willing, and then we move to the Ice books. We have a handful of Paths to Ascendancy, and then we have the novels of the Malazan Empire, and then we have some room there because we'll have some new editions soon. Then over here we got the Realm of the Otherlings. I'm missing one of my favorites, which is Ship of Magic. So again, things that I need to order all the way up. And then I also do have right there the Soldier Sun trilogy, which you should read if you're a Robin Hobb fan. And then A Song of Ice and Fire is underneath there. So these are some of my favorites. And then we get to down here. We'll move quickly through these because there's a lot of different varieties here. But you've got your Chronicles of Narnia. You got some of the Jim Butcher stuff that I listen to those on audios a lot, so I don't have a lot of Dresden Files, but they're there. Prince of Nothing, which I'll get to at some point. I got some more Tad Williams that I'll get to. Some Guy Gavriel Kay, some more C.S. Lewis there in the middle. The 2 Name of the Wind, Wise Man's Fears, the Inheritance cycle, which I love and we'll probably do a redo with at some point. Over there, we got some Selling the Sens. We've got Book of the New Sun, Gene Wolfe. We've got some of the Discworld there. We've got some David B. Coe. And then we got some HP over there. Coming back to the top, back to some favorites with prominent places are the Dune series. And then I have a bunch of Penguins classics, and I love how these look on the shelf. A lot of these are political philosophy related, Rousseau, Pascal, Thomas Hobbes. But there is also, of course, Karl Marx's Capital, which if you haven't read, you should. It's great, and I have a lot of rereadings there. And then we're back to fantasy down here. And we've got Ken Liu's Dandelion Dynasty, which great. And I'm realizing now as I'm looking at it are out of order, so I'll be switching that up. Gideon the Ninth, I haven't done that yet, but I will be getting on that soon. Hyperion, some Zelazny, P. Jelly Clark, some other stuff there. Down to the Stephen King section. This is not fully completed, and I have not read Dark Tower, but I think I will try at some point. Wrinkle in Time, I haven't read those, but the movie was so bad that it really turned me off them, so I don't know if I ever will, but they're there and they're pretty. And then we've got classics, Beowulf, The Divine Comedy of Dante, and then the Iliad and the Odyssey. Now we're into just straight classics. So we've got Don Quixote, Dracula, Ulysses, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I'm not going to go through all of them, but classics are there. Classics also down there, as well as some plays to the far right and short stories. Then we're to my history section over here. And then we're down to, these are biography history. And then this is more general history there. And then some broader nonfiction here. I'll just pay attention to this part on the far left is my collection of French Revolution books. I really find the French Revolution fascinating and think more fantasy series need to take inspiration from the French Revolution. So that's my redesign. I'm very proud of it. Hope you are proud of it too. I don't know. Let me know what you think of my bookshelf. And what do I need more representation to? Do I have enough Lord of the Rings? I don't know. You're going to figure that out for me. Anyway, let me know in the comments. First in, last out.